I want you to meet my family this weekend, he said. Her stomach dropped. Your family? Not blood. The people I chose. My real family. He saw her panic, pulled her closer. They'll love you, I promise. But old fears resurfaced immediately. What if they didn't? What if she wasn't enough for his world either? Saturday evening arrived too quickly. Linda stood in front of the mirror in a burgundy wrap dress that hugged her curves perfectly, second-guessing everything. Bong-so came up behind her, meeting her eyes in the reflection. You're beautiful, he said simply, and they're going to love you. Stop worrying. Easy for you to say. He turned her to face him. Linda, these are people who understand what it means to walk away from family, who know what it costs to choose yourself. They'll see you the way I do. She nodded, not quite believing him. The private dining room at the upscale Korean BBQ restaurant was full of people. Diverse, stylish, successful. Everyone stood when Bong-so entered with Linda. Everyone, Bong-so said, hand possessively on Linda's back. This is Linda. She's mine, which means she's family. The declaration was territorial, protective, absolute. Linda's heart swelled. A man in a sharp suit stepped forward first, extending his hand with a warm smile. Jian, it's good to finally meet the woman who makes our brothers smile. Bong-so told us everything about you. Linda shook his hand, nervous. Everything? An elegant woman with kind eyes laughed. He wouldn't shut up about you for 6 months. The pastry chef who creates art. The woman with the infectious laugh and the brilliant mind. She extended her hand. Mira, Jian's wife. A broad-shouldered black man with an easy smile introduced himself next. Darius, this is my wife, Teresa. A beautiful woman beside him waved warmly. A quiet Korean woman nodded respectfully. Hana, welcome. The tension broke. They welcomed Linda not as an outsider, but as someone already belonging. As dinner progressed and the table filled with banchan and grilled meat, Linda relaxed. These people asked about her bakery with genuine interest. They complimented her without backhanded comments. They made space for her at the table and in conversation. Then they began sharing their stories. My parents disowned me for my career choice, Jian said quietly, setting down his chopsticks. Told me I'd shamed them, that I was a disgrace to the family name. He glanced at Bong-so. So I built my own family. Found this one in college. We were both lost, both looking for belonging. Darius nodded. My family wanted me to be someone I wasn't. Tried to control every aspect of my life. The military gave me structure, but this family gave me acceptance. Hana spoke softly. My father controlled everything. My education, my friendships, my entire future. He tried to sell me into an arranged marriage. She looked at Bong-so with gratitude. Bong-so gave me the resources to leave and build my own life. Mira reached across the table, squeezed Linda's hand. We've all walked away from people who should have loved us. You're not alone. You're safe here. Linda's eyes filled with tears. These people understood. They'd all been rejected by blood, rebuilt by choice. Under the table, Bong-so's hand found Linda's thigh, squeezed gently. When she looked at him, his eyes said everything. You belong here. You belong with me. Later, Bong-so drove with one hand on the wheel, the other laced with Linda's. The city lights blurred past, but inside the car it was just them. They loved you, he said. They're incredible. She paused, staring out at Houston's skyline. I didn't know family could feel like that, so easy, so accepting. That's what real family is. He brought her hand to his lips, kissed her knuckles. No conditions. No earning it. Just belonging. Linda stared out the window, something loosening in her chest. For 28 years, she'd believed family meant sacrifice and pain and constantly proving your worth. But grace, honey lavender croissants, when her phone buzzed. Instagram notification. A message request from an account she didn't recognize. CC Smith, 25. Her hand stilled on the rolling pin. She opened it. CC Smith, 25. Linda, it's Mom. I made a new account because I know you blocked my old one. Please don't delete this. I just want to talk. Linda's hands started shaking. She stared at the message, that old familiar guilt rising like floodwater. Another message came through. CC Smith 25. I saw the magazine feature. You looked so beautiful, sweetheart. Your bakery is thriving. I'm so proud of you. We all are. Can we please just talk? I miss my daughter. Linda's chest tightened. Proud. The word she'd chased her entire life, now offered like a peace treaty. She shouldn't respond. She knew this was manipulation. But her fingers typed anyway. Linda, what do you want? The response was immediate. CC Smith 25. Just to apologize properly. What happened at the wedding was terrible. We were stressed and said horrible things. But you're still our daughter. Can we have dinner? Please? Let us make this right. Linda stared at the screen. They sounded genuine. People could change, right? Maybe they finally saw her worth. Maybe the magazine, the success, made them realize what they'd lost. Linda, I need to think about it. CC Smith 25. Of course, baby. Take your time. We love you. We've always loved you. Here's my new number if you want to call. 713-555-0147. Linda saved the number, hating herself for it. That evening, Linda told Bong So about the messages while he cooked dinner. Shrimp and vegetables, her favorite. He listened without interrupting, his knife work precise and controlled. What do you want to do? He asked, setting down the knife and turning to face her. I don't know. She leaned against the counter, arms wrapped around herself. Part of me knows it's a trap, but part of me wonders, what if they really are sorry? What if I'm throwing away a chance at having my family back? Bong So stepped closer, framed her face with his hands. You have a family. Jian, Mira, Darius, Hana, me. But they're not my blood. Blood doesn't make family, Linda. His voice was firm but gentle. You know this. You lived it. Blood is just biology. Family is choice. I know. I do. But... Tears blurred her vision. What if I regret not trying? What if they really have changed and I'm too scared to see it? He pulled her close, wrapped her in his arms. Then we try. But I'm coming with you. They won't like that. I don't care what they like. His tone was absolute. You don't go back there without me. Non-negotiable. Linda nodded against his chest. Okay. That night, they lay in bed, and he held her until she fell asleep, his body a shield between her and the world. Friday evening arrived. Linda wore a simple but elegant dress. The restaurant was mid-range, a chain. Linda noticed immediately. They hadn't even chosen somewhere nice. Her family was already seated. Claudette, Vernon, Rochelle, Dominique. They looked uncomfortable when they saw Bong So. We thought it would be just family, Vernon said stiffly. He is my family, Linda replied, and Bong So pulled out her chair, his hand briefly touching her shoulder, grounding, protective. The first 10 minutes were awkward small talk. Then Claudette started. Linda, we really are sorry about the wedding. Things got completely out of hand. We love you, Rochelle added, but her smile didn't reach her eyes. You're my sister. I hated how things ended. Dominique nodded. I felt terrible about everything. Linda wanted to believe them. God, she wanted to believe them. I appreciate you saying that. Vernon cleared his throat. So, this magazine feature. Your bakery must be doing incredibly well. It is. We're expanding next month. That's wonderful, sweetheart. Claudette's smile widened, and something in it made Linda's stomach tighten. Actually, that's partly why we wanted to talk. Dominique is launching a lifestyle brand. And I thought we could collaborate. Dominique jumped in, suddenly animated. You make exclusive desserts, I promote them on my platform. We'd be partners. What kind of partnership? Linda asked carefully. Well, I'd handle all the marketing and promotion. I have 2 million followers. You'd handle the baking. We'd split profit 60-40. Linda's stomach sank. 60-40 in whose favor? Mine, obviously. My platform is worth more than... Dominique caught herself. I mean, it's fair compensation for the exposure. Bong So's hand found Linda's under the table, squeezed once, Support and warning both. And there's something else, Claudette continued, not meeting Linda's eyes. Your father's been having health issues. The medical bills are substantial. We thought since you're doing so well now, and your Bong-so clearly has resources. How much? Linda asked, her voice hollow. Vernon named a figure, $20,000. And the collaboration? Linda pressed Dominique. The desserts would be... Rochelle shifted in her seat. Well, complimentary, obviously. We're family. You can't charge us. Like the wedding cake. Uncomfortable silence stretched across the table. Linda, don't be difficult. Claudette's voice sharpened, the mask slipping. We're giving you a chance to be part of this family again. Don't throw it away because of pride. Linda looked at each of them, really looked. At her mother's calculating expression, her father's impatience, her sister's entitled expectations, at the pattern she'd been trapped in for 28 years, repeating like a nightmare she couldn't wake from. And something inside her snapped clean. No, she said quietly. Vernon blinked. Excuse me? No, I won't give you money. I won't work for free. I won't do any of it. Linda, after we apologized, Claudette started. You didn't apologize because you were sorry. Linda's voice was steady now, clear and strong. You apologized because you saw success and came circling back. You saw the magazine, saw Bong-so, and thought you could profit. How dare you suggest, Vernon began. No. How dare you? Linda stood, and Bong-so rose with her, a united front. I spent 28 years trying to earn love you were never going to give. I made myself small, paid your bills, absorbed your cruelty. And for what? So you could exclude me from photos? Evict me? Use me? Rochelle's face flushed red. You're being so dramatic. I'm being honest for the first time in my life. Linda looked at each of them. I don't need your approval anymore. I have people who love me without conditions, who see my worth without me proving it constantly. That's what real family is. Claudette's mask dropped completely, showing the anger underneath. If you walk away now, don't come crawling back when he leaves you. Don't expect us to take you in when your bakery fails and you're alone again. The words should have hurt. A month ago, they would have destroyed her. Now Linda just felt free. I won't be alone, and I won't be back. She looked at Bong-so, found strength in his steady gaze. I have everything I need. She turned and walked out, Bong-so's hand on the small of her back, steady, sure, protective. Behind her, her mother called her ungrateful. Her father said she'd regret this. Her sisters whispered viciously. Linda kept walking, out of the restaurant, into the parking lot, toward the car and the life she'd chosen. Linda made it into the car before the tears came. Not sad tears, cleansing ones, releasing decades of poison. Bong-so pulled her into his arms across the console, let her cry into his shoulder. I'm so proud of you, he murmured into her hair. So incredibly proud. I thought it would hurt more, she admitted. That's because you've already grieved them. You did that weeks ago. This was just closing the door. She pulled back, looked at him through tears. I'm really free. You're really free. He wiped her tears with his thumbs, then kissed her. Soft, reverent, full of promise. And you're mine. Always mine. Always yours, she whispered back. They sat in the car, holding each other, as the weight of 28 years finally lifted completely. 3 peaceful months passed. Sugar and Grace opened a second location. Linda was thriving. She was happy. But late one night, old demons came creeping back. Bong-so found Linda at midnight in the penthouse kitchen, surrounded by perfectly piped macarons, her face streaked with tears. Linda. He was at her side immediately, turning off the oven. What happened? Nothing. Everything. She laughed bitterly, wiped her eyes. I keep waiting for it to end. For you to wake up and realize you could have anyone. Someone less damaged, less complicated. Someone who doesn't come with all this trauma. Where is this coming from? I don't know. She was crying harder now. What if you get tired of this? Of me? What if one day you realize I'm too much work and— Stop. He pulled her into his arms, held her tight. Linda, look at me. She did. His dark eyes were blazing with intensity. I don't want anyone else. I want you. Trauma, complications, midnight baking spirals and all. His hands cupped her face. Do you think I don't know what I have? Do you think I don't wake up every morning grateful that you called me that night? But no. He kissed her forehead, her cheeks, her lips, soft, worshipful touches. You're it for me. You're everything. And I need you to understand something. He stepped back, reached into his pocket, and pulled out a small velvet box. Linda's breath stopped. Her heart stopped. Everything stopped. I had a plan, Bongso said, opening the box to reveal a stunning ring. Emerald center stone surrounded by diamonds, exactly her style. Romantic restaurant, musicians, the whole traditional thing. Linda stared at the ring, unable to process what she was seeing. But that's not us. He took her flower-covered hand. We're midnight kitchen breakdowns and parking lot rescues. We're choosing each other when it's hard, when it's messy, when it's real. He knelt right there on the kitchen floor between cooling racks and mixing bowls. Linda Smith, will you marry me? Linda couldn't speak, couldn't breathe, could only stare at this man kneeling before her, offering everything she never thought she deserved. You don't have to answer now, Bongso said softly, but she could see the vulnerability in his eyes. I know it's fast. Yes. The word burst out of her. Yes, yes, 1,000 times yes. His smile could have lit up the entire city. He stood, slid the ring onto her finger. A perfect fit because of course he knew her size. Probably had it measured while she slept. Linda stood in a private garden venue under flowering trees, wearing a custom wedding dress that fit her perfectly, ivory silk that hugged every curve, off-shoulder with delicate lace details. Mira stood beside her as maid of honor, radiant in soft pink. The ceremony was small, intimate, perfect. 40 guests. No blood family on her side. Just the people who chose her. Gian, Mira, Darius and Teresa, Hana, her bakery manager Kim, regular customers who'd become friends, Bongso's extended chosen family. Bongso waited at the altar in a tailored black suit, eyes locked on her as she walked down the aisle alone. No father to give her away. She gave herself, freely, joyfully, to the man who saw her worth when she couldn't. The vows were simple but devastating. I choose you, Linda said, voice steady despite tears. Every single day for the rest of my life, I choose you. Thank you for showing me what love without conditions looks like. Thank you for being my safe place, my home. Bongso's voice was rough with emotion. I promise to protect you, treasure you, and stand beside you through everything. You are mine, and I am yours, from that first day until my last breath, always. They exchanged rings. The officiant pronounced them married. Bongso kissed her like she was oxygen, like she was his entire world, like he'd never let go. The reception was pure joy. Linda's 5-tier wedding cake, a masterpiece featuring edible flowers and gold leaf, sat center stage. This time, everyone acknowledged the artist. During their first dance, Bongso whispered, "Happy Mrs. Bong?" deliriously. She laughed against his chest. Though I'm keeping Smith professionally. I don't care what name you use. He spun her slowly. As long as you're mine. Always yours. He kissed her again as their family cheered, phones capturing the moment not for social media, but for memory. For love. For proof that happy endings existed for people brave enough to choose themselves. 1 year later, Linda stood in the doorway of the penthouse nursery, 8 months pregnant with their daughter, one hand on her rounded belly. The room was perfect. Soft colors, white furniture, everything she'd dreamed of and never thought she'd have. Bongso came up behind her, wrapped his arms around her waist, hands covering hers over their baby. She's active today, Linda murmured as their daughter kicked. Strong like her mother. He kissed Linda's temple, his hands gentle on her stomach. Stubborn like me. She's going to be so loved. Linda's voice caught. So incredibly loved. Spoiled by everyone. Bongso turned her gently to face him. Gian already bought her a savings bond. Mira knitted 12 blankets. Darius got her first leather jacket. Linda laughed. She's not even born yet. She's already the most important person in their lives. Well, he cupped Linda's face. Second most important. I still can't believe this is real. That I get to have this, have you, have her. Believe it. He kissed her softly. This is your life. Our life. The one you always deserved. Their daughter kicked again, as if agreeing. What should we name her? Linda asked. Something that means light, Bongso said immediately. Because that's what you both are. My light. Linda teared up. I love you so much. I love you more, both of you. 6 months later, Linda woke to soft cooing from the baby monitor. She smiled before opening her eyes, still amazed that this was her life. Bongso's side of the bed was empty. He was already up with their daughter. She found him in the nursery, shirtless, dangerous tattoos on full display, holding their 5-month-old baby girl, Hana Jiwoo, named after his chosen sister, and Jiwoo, meaning wise and beautiful. Someone woke up early, Linda said softly from the doorway. Bongso looked up, and his smile, that rare, precious smile he only gave them, made her heart skip. She wanted her mother. He handed Hana over carefully. The baby girl, perfect brown skin, dark curls, her father's sharp eyes and her mother's warm smile, cooed and reached for Linda's face with tiny fingers. Linda settled in the rocking chair to nurse, and Bongso sat on the floor beside them, his hand on Linda's knee. The three of them a complete unit. A family. Mira called earlier, he said quietly. Your mother tried to reach out through her Instagram. Linda's chest tightened for only a moment before releasing. What did she say? That she saw Hana's photo, wants to meet her granddaughter, wants to make things right. Linda looked down at Hana, at this perfect little girl who would never know conditional love, who would never wonder if she was enough, who would grow up surrounded by people who chose her. No, Linda said simply, firmly. You're sure? I'm absolutely sure. She looked at him. They don't get to miss everything and show up for the good parts. They don't get access to our daughter. Not ever. She deserves better than people who only love when it's convenient. Bongso's expression flooded with pride. Mira told her the same thing. Said if she contacted anyone in our family again, there would be consequences. Our family, Linda repeated, loving how natural it sounded now. Hana finished nursing and made a satisfied sound. Bongso took her, lifted her up gently, and she giggled, full belly laughs that filled the nursery with pure joy. Linda watched her husband and daughter, her heart so full it might burst. This was what she had now. A man who loved her fiercely. A daughter who would grow up knowing her worth. A chosen family that showed up without being asked. A thriving business with 3 locations. A life built entirely on her own terms. What are you thinking? Bongso asked, catching her expression. That I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. She stood, wrapped her arms around both of them. That I'm home. He kissed her forehead. You are. We both are. Hana babbled happily between them, and Linda knew with absolute certainty. She'd made the right choice that night in the parking lot. She'd called. He'd come. And she'd never looked back. She was chosen, she was loved, she was free. And this beautiful, messy, perfect life was just the beginning. The end. If Linda's story reminded you that you deserve love without conditions, that walking away from toxicity isn't giving up, it's choosing yourself, then smash that like and subscribe button. Because stories where curvy Black women get the fierce protection, unconditional love, and happy endings they deserve. I'm not done telling them. Drop a comment. Would you have had the strength to walk away? Or are you still trying to earn love that'll never come? Let's talk about it.